Two households, both alike in tyranny. Somewhere near here is where we lay our scene. From generations' grudges break to new mutiny, thousands of gangs make hands bloody and unclean. From the fatal postcodes of these two foes, people with kitchen knives play the butcher and take countless lives.
This is a fraction of what breeds a more sickening hate and strife.
Yesterday, your mother was too proud to tell your teachers that your father traded in your homework for his hand.
And so you feel safe under the shelter of a blade. The streets were silent in comparison to your mother's screams. With a knife you had control, like it wasn't all your fault.
With a knife you could stop him from touching you when you weren't in the mood. Maybe you didn't plan this.
Or a friend of a friend had beef, so you took it upon yourself to carve it. Or maybe you grew up on the streets and had a sixth sense for deceit.
This spans wider than stop and search.
This is anger management and foster systems.
This runs deeper than your situation.
In the name of justice, we will damp the flames, but love will not fix it.
But it can teach you how to stop the fire in the first place.
Help you rebuild this house.
And let you leave the knife in the kitchen drawer.
Liam, no. It's okay. Don't go to sleep. We can get you to a hospital. Don't worry.
Just stay with me.
Hello, ambulance service, please. Yes, we're on Whitworth Road. My friend, he's just been stabbed. Okay. Liam.
A plague above both our houses.
What's done cannot be undone. And all our yesterdays lead the path to a dusty death. My name's Marcus. My mum's a nurse and my dad's a surgeon. People don't think I know that life because of them. But money doesn't mean a perfect marriage. Money didn't stop my nan from dying. Money doesn't stop the late night thoughts or the sadness. The less that I cared, the more I went along with the wrong people. And now I finally have a good distraction. And besides, I'm in too deep to leave now. At least he can't chat about my dead mates no more. Yes, he will remain unnamed, but I can confirm he is 14 years of age, has been charged with aggravated assault, possession of a weapon, and murder. There is also an underage witness whose statement has been shared with the police. The parents of the victim, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, would like to give thanks to the public for all their support. I will now read a message on behalf of Chief Constable Maya Andrews. We are deeply grieved by the loss of a young boy whose life was taken in yet another incident involving the use of a knife. Though we are grateful for the respectful reporting of a variety of media outlets, we want to let the public know that the police in this locality is doing everything they can to resolve this case and assist in giving the family a sense of normal. I would like to remind all of you who are watching that carrying a weapon is a criminal offence, and if you are arrested for assaulting an individual with said weapon, you will likely be asked to serve a sentence, even if you are underage. There will be a knife amnesty commencing today, Friday the 17th of May 2019, until Friday the 31st of May 2019. Any and all blades or objects with a sharpened point may be dropped into any large bins outside the police stations in our locality, without the possibility of prosecution. We thank you again for your ongoing support. No further questions.
Was the hope drunk? A few months ago, the police came to our school and
Said we can make our community better and we didn't have to turn to the streets. I wasn't really listening, but Liam, he grabbed me on the arm on the way out and said something like,
Nathan, let's train. Let's take up some boxing lessons. Who knows, maybe we'll become fit police officers or something like that. I don't know. Maybe get out here when we're finished with school.
So we did. We trained up for a few weeks, kept us out of trouble. Yeah, pulled up our grades a bit and even started helping out at home.
but then he just stopped showing up to school.
I didn't care anymore.
His parents said he was coming home at weird times because of his job,
Technically, there wasn't lying.
but he was hanging around some dodgy people. Yesterday, I saw him on the street and asked if I could walk with him, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll still train them. Become an officer. For him.
Employment and credentials before you begin.
Dr. Steph Black. I'm a school counsellor, PhD in health and social care. For a brief time, I tried to support Liam with after-school conversations. I told him, my door is always open.
I wanted to tell her.
I think he wanted to tell me. He just struggled to
Find the right words.
But one day he came into my office, shut the door, sat down, looked me dead in the eye, and he said,
This school is crap. It's below your pay grade. Why'd you work here anyways?
It's because I grew up here, and I can make a difference. Then I explained. When I was 18, I was a straight A student. I got home before it was dark. I took care of my younger siblings. I was in a relationship with a handsome man who abused me. He was 25. Was caught up with a group of dealers. Eventually I started spending nights at his, and whenever we'd hang out with his mates, he'd push me to do things that made me feel really uncomfortable. I was caught alone a few times with him. Let's just say he didn't understand the word no.
So why didn't you break it off with him?
I was young. I thought I'd know how to handle myself if things got out of hand. So I started carrying a knife, just to feel safe. And one day he just suddenly disappeared, and finally I told my foster mum.
And then she got mad.
She went ballistic. She was just upset that she didn't know sooner. And then I kept my head down, carried on studying. Eventually I got my PhD, bounced around for a while, different schools.
And then you came back here.
Because some things are just too heavy to carry on your own. If I can help with the load or at least stop someone from carrying, then I want to.
Okay. Start from the beginning then.
He told me everything. About how he was struggling at home, he was being bullied at school, and as he spoke it was like he grew dimensions, shade and colour. But then he said something that really gave me the chills.
This birth, it feels like a sentence. My home, this school, it's like whatever I do, it doesn't even matter. And in the end, the streets will win. or I'll get cut down and die in poverty. And it's not if, it's when.
I know I shouldn't say, but I wanted to adopt him right then and there. He was just so full of promise. Anyway, after that, spoke to him about the government family support schemes. I told him about the food banks as well. I even said that I'd speak to his parents for him. He just said that they'd feel too embarrassed. A few days after that, one of his friends came into the office and asked for some pamphlets on the local support schemes. Nathan. Neither of them came back after that. I should write to the families. It's a shame, really. Tomorrow, and tomorrow as it were. I heard they're releasing a public statement soon.
Are you sure you want to look?
He's my son.
I know, but... I know. Both Ruth and myself struggle to come to terms with the death of our son Liam. And yet, we are still grateful for the outpouring love from family, friends, teachers and students alike. We are aware that this particular case has caught the eyes of many, and thousands upon thousands are watching this corner of the UK. Even though the media are sharing sensationalist headlines about the conduct of our son, we want you to know that Liam was a very special boy. He was a loving son to us and a loving friend to many. We hope that he will be remembered for the community and charity work he was involved in with the Strong Heart Boxing Club. My little boy, may you rest peacefully. We love you so much. From Mum and Dad.
After serving his sentence, the boy who stabbed me will end up in and out of the prison system. Like many others, he'll struggle to find a life for himself. He won't be able to work with children and have to state all of his sentences to his future employers. After years of pointless sacrifice and struggling in a maximum security prison, he will take his life.
If I'd have gone to the counsellor's office, I would have got the therapy I needed. Stayed sober. Gone to law school. Met my wife. Had a daughter. But I didn't. Now, of course, Marcus's and Liam's stories are both works of fiction.
But the reasons aren't.
It's more than just protection.
And more than anger.
It's poverty-stricken families.
It's a partner who doesn't care about your safety or boundaries.
It's mental health.
It's dabbling in the streets you don't belong in.
It's a lack of options.
Maybe you need someone to talk to. Why don't you ask a school counsellor, family member, friend, foster carer? It's okay to ask for help about home life, peer groups, safety, relationships.
Even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts.
Men are masters of their fate. The fault, dear humans, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, as we are the underlings.